What's up, y'all? This is a 2017 Chevy Tahoe, and we'll be doing a overhead unit. Don't know if you guys know how to do an overhead unit. If you don't, I'm about to show you. If you do, let's compare notes or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump right on into it. We are putting in one of these advent pieces. So I'm gonna show you what we got right here. This is a template. This is a template that's made for the bracket that we're gonna put up, and this is a template for the monitor itself. And you see we poked a hole right here, and it matches up with this one right here if you put it in that spot, and I will show you what we need that for. So first off, let's go ahead and get to it. Now first off, what you want to do is just make sure that this is actually centered with the headliner. So what I do is so we got that line drawn in the middle, and I just kind of measure from here, make sure it's centered there. Some people like to actually go ahead and take a measuring tape, and they'll measure from here to that center, and then from there to that center, then they'll draw a line and all that kind of stuff. What you basically want to do is, if you have this template, it makes it easy. Start right here, get it centered, and then come back as far as you want it to. Now this one does not have a sunroof, so we're kind of clear as far as moving parts. But what you guys do want to make sure is that you're in between this B-pillar beam. Every car that, has this B-pillar, which means it's a piece of metal that goes from all the way right here to the other side of the car. That's what actually connects it. That's what we're going to be mounting our bracket to. So as I've already done, I got me a little pick tool right here, and I'll take my template, I'll put it back, make sure it's centered and lined up with the car, and then I'll take my pick tool, and then I'll actually stab this hole right here. All right. Now, with the hole already stabbed inside the headliner, what we do is we take that same pick tool and we put it inside this hole, and we gonna go inside that exact same hole right here. Now that's gonna stay, and now you're gonna be able to line up your bracket. So this is what you're gonna be actually cutting out. Another thing, what I like to do, since this is something that's kind of the nearest to it, what I'll do is I'll take my pencil and I'll measure from this edge to that light, from the middle to that light, and then from that edge to that light. Once all that's centered, I will take a pencil and I will draw a small little sketch line on the headliner, and that's just tracing this right here is going to leave you with that, and that's exactly what we are going to cut out. Say this last little piece for you, but yeah, you see we got everything cut out. Now mind you, if you have to go over this 3, 4, 5 times, that's fine. Anything just to take your time, and do not cut this headliner, because you do not want to be buying somebody's headliner. But what we're gonna do is take out all this little excess. I actually need this wire right here, but yeah. So now, we'll get to that in a minute. We are going to mount our brace to that joker right there. And yeah, that is our hole for our bracket. On to the next one. So the next thing we're going to do is actually go ahead and wire this thing up. This is the cable cord for most of your overheads that have dome lights. You will get these 3 wires over here. This is going to go to your dome light, power, ground, and trigger. The purple wire is just the trigger. When the door opens up, this is what actually turns the light on. This gives it power. This is what turns it on. This right here is going to turn on the head unit itself. I mean the overhead unit itself. So we just need to find a 12-volt ignition and a ground with that one. So right now I'm gonna teach you guys how to find the find the dome wires. So since my dome light is so close right here, I'm gonna have to, I should be able to go ahead and tap into this without actually extending my wires. So what I want to do by using my power probe, I love this thing, by the way. We're gonna test to see what's gonna give me a constant, what's gonna give me a ground, and what's gonna give me my trigger wire. Now right here, That's giving me 12.6. So that's a hot wire. That's ground. That's showing ground. And that's showing ground. So right now we have a 12 volts, a ground, and a ground. Now when I open up the door and the light comes on, one of these 3 grounds is going to switch to 12 volts. And whichever one switched to 12 volts, that's our trigger. So let me open up the door real quick. Dome light comes on. Still got ground. Still got ground. Boom. That's our trigger. So let me shut the door just to make sure that that gray wire on the side, it was 12 volts. Boom. So as you can see, when I had the car door closed, this one shoots me a ground. When I open it up, it goes to 12 volts. So that's going to be our door trigger. So our purple wire is going to go to this. These 2 in the middle, the black and the yellow, those are our grounds. So my black wire will go with one of these 2. And this white with the gray stripe or brown stripe or whatever is 12 volts. So my red one's going to go to that. Now, all right, y'all. So as you can see, I have military splicing taped my 12 volts, my ground. I just tape this back up, and my trigger to kind of go back in here. And then I've ran the other side of that 12 volt wire that's actually going to power the monitor over. Just ran it through the headliner on the other side, and I'm going to run it along the top, go down to the bottom where my BCM is over here in the corner, use a relay to catch my ignition off of the BCM just to be on the safe side, and that's how I'm going to get my power. I'm going to tell you. So I want you guys to be mindful about your dome light trigger. Now, if you have a flip down monitor that doesn't have a light, then you're not going to have a dome light harness. Just hook it up to ignition and ground, and then you're good to go. And if you don't want to hook up the dome light, then don't worry about it. Now, if you guys do want to hook up the dome light, you have to be mindful about it, whether you have a positive or negative trigger. When you test this trigger, if you test this light, this wire right here, then what I want you guys to do, if it's 0 when the car door is closed and 12 volts when the car door is open, that means it's positive trigger. So then you will keep your red on your 12 volts and then your black on your ground. Now, if you test this wire and it's 12 volts where the door is closed and it's 0 when you open up the door, that means it's a negative trigger. The purple one still goes to the trigger wire, but with these 12 volts and ground, you have to swap those. That way, the dome light goes on when the car doors and the rest of the dome lights and everything just be in compliance with each other. So keep that tip in mind. All right, so we got our plate right here already mounted up just with the 2 screws, and then these 4 holes are going to mount up with the 4 holes that's in the screen, and we're going to use the screws to just go ahead and mount them. I can't record and do it at the same time, so I'm sorry about that. So I just have to show you guys the aftermath. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry that I couldn't actually, record myself putting this on and drilling it at the same time. But basically, those 4 holes that was on the bracket, they're going to line up perfectly with that. So just take 4 of your screws. You're going to get 3 different sizes of screws. Choose which one best fits you, and go ahead and hook it up like that. And then now we're not done. We do have it mounted, but we have the test of, does the dome light works? So we're gonna open up the door. Boom. That's a little fuzzy. All right, so close the door. Should fade out when the factory dome light goes out. Boom. So we're good. Now let's just wire up this thing and get it playing. All right, guys, so there you have it. Open up the door, dome light should come on. Yep. Oh, let me just stick the key in here real quick. Go off. This comes on. I already have my FM modulator turned on. Tune to my channel to where we can hear it throughout the car. Headphones work as well.
What was coming to me?
Oh, what was coming to you, Tommy?
The world, chico.
The world, chico.
And that's it, man. So we're good.